Come on, let's do it.
Episode 250. 250 shows. I thought I did this. I just went through like every show on the channel and I couldn't find it. And that's my own fault because I do these silly titles. There's no way to tell. But so for 250, what are we going to do? I got some stuff out on the board. I love this dinner. I thought for sure we did it. Fish and chips. Come on, let's do it.
Come on, let's do it.
All right, fish and chips. Boy, do I love this meal. And ever since the Sea Deli in Kingston closed, I can't go get it right at the snap of my fingers. So we're going to make our own. I did a couple of things in advance, and here's the fish. This is not going to be a big portion. This is about a little under a half a pound. It's about 0.45, I think, of haddock. And this is, for my taste, the best fish for fish and chips, for batter frying, haddock. You can get away with cod if you don't have haddock, but that's what Sea Deli used to use in their fish and chips, always haddock. So let's set that aside. We don't need the fish yet. We want to do a few things in advance. I already peeled and cut up this potato into, what they would call in London chips, right? That's a chip, that rough kind of cut. And I have them soaking in cold water. That's why I did it in advance. They should soak at least a half hour. We want to get some of the starch out. And those have been soaking for a while. That's one of my 2025 harvested potatoes. Really excited. But the next thing we want to make is some tartar sauce. Okay, so that can marry up in the fridge while we're doing the rest of the recipe. Now I just made this mayonnaise. I didn't want to do that on camera because I made a double batch. I think I told you guys, and this is so delicious. I make this now with, these are the new girls are laying eggs. I'll go about a half a cup. The new girls are laying eggs, so I use 3 of their eggs because until they get full grown, I've been getting some monster double yolks out of one of those ladies, but they're still young enough where some of them are laying some small eggs. So I use 3 small eggs. It's kind of like a double batch of mayo. And this is with the avocado oil, which is, so you don't have to feel too guilty about this. This is an actually pretty healthy mayo. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in a glass jar, and that'll last about 2 weeks in the fridge. It won't take that long before it's gone. So let's use about a half cup, maybe a little more. And now again, different people make their tartar sauce different ways. Sometimes there's parsley, sometimes there's shallots, and trust me, I have all my fresh shallot. But tonight I'm going to put some capers in this fresh homemade mayo. Well, let's start with a liquid first. Just a drop of Dijon. Of course, the mayo was made with Dijon mustard, but we'll put a little dollop of that. A little Worcestershire. And again, I'm just kind of eyeballing. Chop up these capers. I don't know, what is that, a tablespoon maybe? A little more. Some dill pickle. This is not mine. Pretty good though. Nice and sour, nice and dill. I bought this one, not in a jar. Just bought the individual deli style dill pickle. You could use relish in a pinch, right, out of the jar. But this is kind of a key component. All right, let's get our dill in there. Actually, I don't know if I need all of that. Let me knock some of this back. Once we taste it, a little bit of lemon juice. This is the lemon I used. Ooh, excuse me, the dill, back of the throat. This is the lemon I used for the mayonnaise. So just use that up. And now herbs. Some people might use parsley. I went out. Dill is almost done. We had 39 degrees last night. I think it got to 38. So we haven't had a frost yet. But I'm starting to bring stuff in. Pulled a few pepper plants. They're hanging out in the back porch. Brought in the potted basil. And the basil that was in the ground I pulled. That's hung up to dry. I don't see any frost in the forecast. That was a freak 39, and it looks like the overnights are back to the mid-40s next week. But it was going to be a close enough call, and it has to be done anyway. So I started pulling stuff in. All right, fresh dill. And then I love tarragon, and I just happen to have this because I was cleaning out the other herb bed, the one out front. I think we visited that together, and I accidentally pulled this off. So I'll just let it dry. Love tarragon in my chicken salad, sometimes even in a tuna salad. So I'll just let that dry on the counter. The plant's still out there. I did not pull it out by the roots, but I accidentally pulled that stalk off. Didn't mean to. Just trying to clean up the beds. All right, a little tarragon. And I think that's it. A little salt and pepper. We'll mix this up and see how it tastes. Tarragon has a little piece of a stem. Let's get rid of that. Just get the leaves in. Kosher salt. A little black pepper. Let's mix this tartar sauce up and see how it's going to work on our fish and chips. All right, this is it fresh. Remember, it's going in the fridge. It wants to meld together. Oh, it's beautiful. For starters, it's that homemade avocado oil mayo. I mean, I was eating that with a spoon plain. What does it need, though? It doesn't really need anything, but I'll doctor it a little. A couple more drops of Lea and Perrin. Couple of grains of salt and a little more pepper, and I think that should do it. I'm thinking if I want to put a drop of Tabasco. I didn't take it out, but it's in the fridge. I'm going to put this in the fridge to marry up. I may put 2 drops of Tabasco in this when it goes in the fridge. Oh, no, just going to leave it. It's perfection. It doesn't even need any more lemon. I'm doing this so I can throw this in the compost and not feel like I wasted any juice. This is tartar sauce. That's beautiful. I'm going to put that in the fridge. Meet me back here. Next up, batter. Okay, let's mix up our fry batter. Full disclosure, I did add a few drops to the tartar sauce. Couldn't resist. It was staring me in the face. But here's that mayonnaise transferred from the Cuisinart. Old trick I learned from Alton Brown many years ago. Leave it out on the counter for a little while. Before I go to bed, I'll refrigerate it. But first, just let it set. So that's just going to sit on the counter. Mayonnaise. Might have to bake that sandwich bread again tomorrow and make myself a tuna melt. Let's make the fry batter. I'm going to start with a little bit of my sourdough starter. This way I can feed it. So I'll use a little of the discard. We don't need a lot. We're not making a big batter. We just have that one little 0.4 ounce piece of fish. 0.4 pound, excuse me. A little bit of baking powder. All-purpose flour. pinch of salt. And maybe just for the heck of it, I will add a little Tabasco. Just throw a little flavor right into the batter, right? Let's mix that around and start adding a little bit of seltzer. You could use beer. I don't have any beer in the house, thankfully. And we want that. This is actually the wrong utensil for this. Let me get a small whisk. Here we go. Get all that flour incorporated before I decide whether or not it needs more seltzer. We want it thin enough to dredge the fish through, thick enough to stick to the fish. I think it's going to use a touch more seltzer. You can see the carbonation, that's key. The beer is nice for flavor, but lacking beer, definitely use something carbonated. You can see those bubbles already. I think that's a nice consistency. I know it's just raw flour, but I'm going to taste it. A little bit of Tabasco, the salt, beautiful batter. All right, we are ready to fry up. Now, the first thing I'm going to do before I set the camera up and before you meet me at the stove is I'm going to drain the potatoes and I'm going to dry them off real well in paper towel. So by the time you see me over at the stove, these are going to be well dried. They've been in here for close to an hour, so the starch is leached out, and we're going to do the double fry. See you all at the stove. All right, fry station. We've talked about it a million times. Got a little brown bag here with some paper towel, using the mini wok because we don't have much to do. And I had my peanut oil. I've fried in it and fine strained it a couple of times already. This may be the second to last time. After this, because we're going to have fish in there, maybe I'll use it for one fritti misti, some calamari, maybe some shrimp, and then it'll be done till the next jar comes around. Here's my potatoes. Drained them. Dried them a couple of times on these paper towels. You want them bone dry as much as you can after soaking it. And we're going double fry. So we want this to come up to 300. We're only at 180. So as soon as it's at 300, that gives me enough time to move this camera around. So let me do that before it hits 300. All right, let's check our oil. 283. All right, notice I'm using this wok ring. This little mini wok doesn't sit too flat on this stove top. So the wok ring comes in real handy with this hot oil. 305. All right, here we go. Fry number one. You're not going to see that, 350, 360, you're not going to hear that shh. This is the first fry. It's going to be about, 5, maybe 6 minutes, just to get them set. And of course, just what I'm doing here is going to lower the oil temp. Let's see where we're at now, just from dropping them. Okay, 287, but that's good. Bring it back up. And what we want these to do, this is going to cook the inside of the fry. They'll be nice and creamy. We'll take them out. And we'll raise this to 375 for the fish. Once the fish comes out, we're going to crank it back up to 400 and finish these fries up. Now, this is going to be about 5 minutes. I'll turn the camera back on when they're just about ready to pull. All right, it's been about 5-6 minutes. They got a nice crisp on them, although you can see they're still white. But they feel nice and cooked. So what I'm going to do now is use this spoon, and instead of putting them on the paper towel now, I've got this sieve in the back over a bowl. It's not touching the bottom, so some of the oil can drain off, and they'll just set there. And now we're going to do our fish. So I'm going to crank up the heat. 330. We want to go to 375. So while that's happening, let's come over here. I got a little all-purpose flour for the initial dredge. And again, I want to pat this fish nice and dry, both sides, right? We don't want water going in that oil if we can help it. I mean, this is going to be encased in a batter, but we want to dry it off. That's a bit of a close-up. Let me come back a little. There we go. That's better. Okay. Let's get it in this flour. This is not seasoned. We just want a little flour to help the batter cling. Let me check this oil. 365. We're right on the money. Perfect timing. Here's that batter we mixed up. Get the excess flour off and into our batter. Perfect consistency. It's nice and thick. It's going to cling, but it's thin enough to get it all over our fish. And now I think we're probably right there. 375, 380. Bingo. Let's get this beauty in. And I am going to put the fan on as soon as I drop the fish. So let me do that now. Always away from you, right? Let's get that in the oil. Just wash my hands. I don't want to drip any water in there, so I'm trying to get them dried off. Alright, we're just going to crispy fry this. Whoops. My bad. There we go. Oh, the batter is beautiful. Right. I'll turn the camera off. This is going to get golden. I'm going to have to give it one flip. When it's ready to come out, I'll turn the camera back on. All right, this is interesting. I went to give it a flip. It's fully submerged, so I probably don't even have to flip it. But I wanted to. And because of the size of the wok and the way I put it in, it curled up, so I can't get a full submerge there. I'll just give it a second on this side. And if I flip it back, it's fully submerged, so no worries. I just figured the oil on the bottom of the pot might be a little bit hotter than what's up on the surface. But, okay, so note to self, maybe use the bigger wok next time so I can get the full submerge at full length. It's curled up on me. But anyway, it's looking nice and crispy. Let's see how our temp's holding. 372. Perfect. We got a nice fry going. Just want to get it a little bit more golden. Also, I used whatever peanut oil I had left. I could have had this more full if I had more oil. But that's another fry safety measure. Don't ever have your pot more than 2/3 full. Always leave a lot of head space. I think we're almost there. It's getting nice and golden. Nice color. Another 2-3 minutes, I think we'll be good. Trying to get that gold color all over. You can see it's starting here. I can already feel how crunchy it is. Ah, here comes the color. Look at that. I think one more flip on each side and we're going to pull this beauty and give it a quick salt. And back in to finish the fries. $379. We're holding a really nice temperature. should have my screen on here. I'm getting a bunch of splatter on the stove, but no worries. The weekend's coming. Plenty of time to clean the kitchen head to toe. It's way down the other side of the fridge. I'm not going to grab it now. I think we are done. Yeah, that is a crispy batter. I just want that brown. I want that gold brown. .384, which is perfect. I think I'm going to pull it. Let the oil come up to 400. Drain. I'm going to put it on this paper towel to my right. I don't believe it's in frame, but you guys know the deal. I'm going to put a couple of grains of salt on there to melt onto that hot oil. And now, with the fish out, this temp should rise pretty rapidly. $3.99. Back in with the fries. Oh, I can feel them. They got that nice soft, and now we're just going to crisp up the outside. It already went down to 384, but that's alright. I got the flame on as high as it can go. It should be crisping up in just a minute or two. I'll turn the camera off. I'm going to start getting the plate set up. Okay, I got a plate here, but we're going London style. Nice piece of brown paper. Fries over here are doing the thing. They're getting crispy. Let's get our crispy fried haddock over here. Oh, I'll get the tartar sauce while those are finishing up. Let's get some tartar in there. Now, one thing that I do miss about fish and chips at the old Sea Deli, I don't have any on hand. I should have it with the chips themselves, as I love some malt vinegar. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to cheat. We're going to improvise and sort of make a faux malt vinegar. And how are we going to do that? Some apple cider, the mother in it, and a little red wine. Just mix them together. Okay, so it's not malt. It is vinegar. No ketchup with fish and chips, never. A worthy substitute, if you ask me. Okay, the fries are looking good. Excuse me, the chips are looking good. Let's pull the camera back over. Get a little close up. See them getting color on them. I can feel the outsides getting nice and crispy. And what I'm going to do, I'll move the camera back over. When they're ready, I'm going to put them back in the basket here to drain just the oil off, and then we'll dump them right on our paper. Alright, salted them. A nice looking little dinner. First I was worried it might not be enough food. Let's give this a go. Okay, fish first because those fries are still piping hot. Fish has been out a minute or two. Tartar. Oh man. How much are flights to London right now? I don't have to worry about it. Oh, that's phenomenal. So crunchy. Chips are amazing. You know I'm not supposed to use that favorite line, but If there was ever an apropos time, it's now. This is one of my favorite meals on the planet. Mmm. Mmm. That batter is exquisite, I'm telling you. Anytime I make any kind of fried batter now, as the base, I always start with the sourdough starter. It adds flavor. Mm. Mm. The tartar sauce, forget about it, man. From the homemade mayo, the avocado oil, I'm not even that particularly guilty about eating it. My eggs, my lady's eggs, incredible. Backyard potato. Mm. R.I.P. Sea Deli, but I'm in fish and chips heaven right now. I'll see you all for the next episode.
Come on, let's do it.